It's going to be like 10 minutes. But I am going to be talking about a couple of other things as well, so stay tuned for that. I still don't know how this sounds currently because I do have headphones now with a jack and everything. But I realized that I now need another cable in order to record onto my phone because I'm using the head jack for said recording. So yeah, it's going to be great. I'm just going to kind of fly with this video for right now. I'll upload it either today, which is Valentine's Day, by the way. All singles, stay single. But I'm going to try to put it out maybe tomorrow, the 15th, and then I should be getting the cord in tomorrow. And then on Saturday, I'm going to try to see if we can get like a little podcast going with me and my boy Giovanni Martinez. Just real quick, 45-minute like podcast talking about MMA. My last video, I didn't talk about the setup that I have currently. So right now, I have my iPhone, which is recording it right now, with an RCA cable, or not an RCA cable, TCR to TCCR cable, which is basically like an aux cord to a recording cord, aux cord that goes into here, which goes into a guitar mic, which is then plugged into the headphones. And right now I have an AT2020 regular XLR cable with boom mic and a horrible cover with an $18 mic stand and just an XLR cable. I have it on the bare minimum settings. I still don't know how it sounds. But yeah, no, if I have anything new, I'll try to update you guys on it. But with that being said, let's get right into the Perth, Australia with Islam Makhachev and Alexander Volkanovski. It's honestly a better fight than I thought it would be. I thought Islam was going to dominate that fight, like 4 out of the 5 rounds. But it turned out that it was a really good back and forth battle. Like, I thought that Islam was going to take Volkanovski down at will, and turns out it's a little bit harder to take down somebody who's a lot shorter than you. So, but it was a really good fight. I could see the decision going either way, but it did lean towards Makhachev, which is understandable. He had the back a couple of times, but Islam looked very smooth. And I'm not talking his footwork. I'm talking just his body. He looked smooth, like he was dehydrated. And so he might have had a bad weight cut going down to 155, which probably affected his performance, because Alex was toned in. Like, it didn't look like he cut any weight. And so he was in the 4th and 5th round still talking to the corners, and I was just like, there has to be a point where he starts getting tired. And there wasn't. He was 100% on. He could have probably gone another 5 rounds. But he didn't get the nod, so what I see next for Islam is probably one of the contenders at 155. We'll probably see who that will be. Probably Beneil Dariush if he wins against Oliveira, which that is a good fight. Maybe McGregor, maybe Poirier, never know. Maybe Chandler. It's a good fight. But we obviously know what's next for Alexander Volkanovski after that performance. It was a really good performance, so I feel as though he should be going back down to 145 and defending that belt a couple more times. And who I think that should be up against, obviously, Yair Rodriguez, who was the co-main event with Josh Emmett. Yair won by 2nd round submission due to a triangle choke that was first an arm bar, which was a beautiful transition. I don't think we could have seen Yair Rodriguez doing that slick of a submission on a person like Josh Emmett, because Josh Emmett's wrestling is really, really stellar. And to see that happen was really comforting, in knowing that Yair Rodriguez is not only flowing on the feet, on the striking, but he's flowing on the ground too. Like, I would say he reminds me almost a little bit of Tony Ferguson, how he just flows with everything. He'll go southpaw to orthodox to southpaw, throw things that you've never seen before, techniques that are just so different. And I really liked the way that Yair Rodriguez was at first hitting him to the head with the head kicks, but then going to the body, because that's what really hurt Emmett. And you could see the snowball effect after all those body kicks. Josh Emmett was looking for a really big punch, but just could not connect. And so next I see Yair Rodriguez obviously going up against Alexander Volkanovski, which is a really good fight. But for Josh Emmett, I think he should really have a hard look at himself and see where he wants to go, because he's, I think, 38 or so right now in the featherweight division. And it's like you as a company can't exactly market that the same way you could like a Randy Couture or a Chuck Liddell, somebody who had that legacy before they got old. And yeah, you could say, Jan Blachowicz had the belts and Glover Teixeira had the belts, but that was in the light heavyweight division. There wasn't anything going on. And so they could give it to a Glover Teixeira or Jan Blachowicz, because that sparked everything up when John Jones left. And so I see Josh Emmett possibly weighing out his options, possibly fighting out his contract if he has any more fights. And I really would like to see him at the PFL. I want to see him go up against somebody in the PFL and have success in the 155 division. Maybe he wins a couple of fights there and maybe is able to go up against Jake Paul in MMA, because that'd be a good fight. But I don't see anything else really happening for him for right now. For the rest of the card, I didn't really watch that much. I think Jack Della Mena got a really good first round KO. Justin Tafa had a really good first round knockout against Sean Porter, which obviously, Sean Porter is a grappler and Justin Tafa is a brawler. And I would almost say he fights in the same style as Tai Tuivasa from AKA, where it's just feints, but you're always having that pressure going forwards, like, I'm going to take your head off. And it worked. So I want to see him up against somebody in the top 10, maybe 15, maybe top 5. I would love to see him versus a Stefan Struve, maybe a Derek Lewis, Alexander Volkov. Really just try to get a name under that belt so that he has that notoriety. But all in all, I kind of liked the card. I liked it. It was really held up by the Islam and Alexander Volkanovski fight. But other than that, there was a couple of really good fights. It was just really one-sided for most of them, though. There wasn't that back and forth barn burners that we saw, like the Zhang Wei Li and Joanna card a year back, or any of those types of cards. Like, it was very one-sided pick for most of those fights, and it usually is when they go to a town or city that they haven't gone to in a while. They did that with Brazil. They did that with Paris. Like, they chose some good fights, but some really one-sided fights too, just to kind of get the crowd going and being like, this is us. And so, yeah, out of 10, I'd probably give it like a 7.5, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. Would I buy the pay-per-view? Probably not. But if it was down to like maybe $69, yeah, I'd buy it. I'd watch it. So yeah, this is the end of this video. I know it's another short one. It's just, I don't know how I sound, and I don't want to put out a bunch of videos when I don't know what I sound like. I'll try to get the cable and everything by this weekend. I'll try to put out a couple more videos, because there's a couple more boxing videos coming out. But yeah, I'm going to try to make this a little bit more of a schedule now. And we're going to try a couple of different places. Like, I might be here, I might be in my bed, I might be outside. Like, definitely during the summer, so that you guys can see the mountains and everything in Alaska. But yeah, other than that, leave a comment, leave a like, support the channel, support your boy. Other than that, catch y'all later. Peace.